my reactions to week 10 of the NFL season. Also, you guys are going to have to bear with me here. I'm a little sick, a little hoarse. In this Sunday early morning game, the first ever game in Munich, Germany, the Buccaneers beat the Seahawks 21-16. Brady had a pretty good game. He did throw one interception that kind of let them back in the game towards the end of that game, but they were able to close the deal. Geno Smith had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and Tom Brady had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dolphins. The Dolphins destroyed the Browns 39-17 from 3 touchdowns out of Tua Tagovailoa, who is, in my opinion, definitely an MVP candidate this year. Also, don't mind my dog in the background. I got 2 of them. It's not really mine, it's my mom's, but still, we got 2 of them. Steelers, welcome back TJ Watt. TJ Watt had 4 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, and 1 sack. Overall, a very solid game from TJ Watt and his return back, and route to leading the Steelers to a 20-10 victory over the Saints in Heinz Field. Giants beat the Texans 24-16. Saquon Barkley had 152 yards rushing for Jaguars. Chiefs. The Chiefs are Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs continuing to set the league on fire. Even without Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes had 4 touchdowns, to only 1 interception. There were to 4 different receivers. One was to Travis Kelce, one was to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. The other one, the 2 others were, one was to Kadarius Toney, and the other one was to Noah Gray. And Trevor Lawrence tried his darndest to keep up, but he only had 2 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Both of them were to Christian Kirk. Broncos, Titans. Titans beat the Broncos 17-10. Derrick Henry only had 53 yards rushing, but Ryan Tannehill had 200-plus yards passing and 2 touchdowns in the game. Both of them were to Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Russell Wilson had 1 touchdown and 1 crucial interception. The only touchdown of the game he had was off of blown coverage to Jalen Virgil. The Broncos were up by 10, and it was only by 7 after that touchdown, and the Titans were able to come back and win the game. Lions, Bears. The Lions beat the Bears 31-30. The Bears had a 14-point lead going into the 4th quarter, but the Lions were able to claw their way out of it and come back and win the game. Justin Fields had 2 touchdowns, both of them rushing. He had 150-plus yards rushing. He did have a crucial interception. I think it was when he had a rushing touchdown, then he threw an interception, and then he ran for a big touchdown. Credit the Lions though. Obviously, my favorite team, but we were able to come back and win that game. I'm proud of us. See how we can keep going. The defense was able to keep us in the game, and we were able to capitalize when we needed to. Vikings, Bills. The Vikings were able to overcome a 17-point deficit in the 4th quarter against the Buffalo Bills. Justin Jefferson had a huge game. 10 receptions, 193 yards receiving, and 1 touchdown. But he had a big catch on 4th down, one-handed catch of the year. They were able to come back in the game, though. They were able to come back in the game. Josh Allen had a big game up until the 4th quarter. The 4th quarter, the Bills really struggled. Started falling apart. They were able to hold the Vikings to no points. and they were able to make a goal line stand. I think it was on a fourth down at the 1 yard line. Um, the Vikings were able to, or the Bills remarkably gave up a fumble touchdown or a scoop and score off the 1 yard line or at the goal line. After that stop, Vikings got a remarkable touchdown. Bills were able to come back and get a field goal to tie the game, send the game into overtime. Um, the Vikings had got the ball first off the coin toss. Buffalo was able to hold them to just 3. And Josh Allen had a chance, but he threw a crucial interception on, I think it was second down or third down, in the red zone. That to Patrick Peterson that ended the game. Overall, though, game of the year, in my opinion. That the Vikings were able to win 33-30. Colts Raiders Sunday afternoon game. The Colts pulled off the upset against the Raiders 25-20. The Raiders just they're just terrible right now. They're 2-7 right now. The team looks like it's turning against each other. Half of the team wants to or is trying to win. Half of the team just looks like they've quit on the season. Overall, I mean, this wasn't happening late last year. They were able to win the last 4 games of the season last year to get into the playoffs with an interim head coach, Rich Bisaccia, who they let go, and hired Josh McDaniels, the offensive genius from New England, who was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, who had Tom Brady as his quarterback. That didn't end out well. He had this was his second time around as a head coach. First was in Denver. That was tragic too. And it's not getting any better. I mean, Derek Carr tried his best, but overall they just didn't do enough to win. But what concerns me the most about the Raiders is definitely what's going on behind the scenes. It just looks like a broken down organization. Cowboys Packers. Packers were able to keep their season alive. They won the game 28-25 in overtime. Or no, it was actually 31-28 in overtime. The Cowboys had a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, but Packers kept fighting. And the Cowboys, I mean, they made a couple of mistakes here and there. Aaron Rodgers had 3 touchdowns in the game. All 3 of them were to the rookie wide receiver, Christian Watson, who had a big game today. Dak Prescott had a crucial interception in the red zone that was able to keep the Packers in the game. The game was sent into overtime. Cowboys got the ball first. They went for it on 4th down instead of kicking the field goal, which would have given them the lead for the moment. I agree with the decision to go for it on 4th down. I just feel like they should have run the ball on 3rd down instead of passing it. They didn't. Give the ball back to Aaron Rodgers without getting any points, and Aaron Rodgers was able to capitalize and hit a big pass to Alan Lazard, which set him up for the game-winning field goal from Mason Crosby. Overall, great win for the Packers. Bad loss for the Cowboys, especially when you consider what happened the next day in that division. But I'll get into that in a little bit. Cardinals, Rams, both quarterbacks were missing. The Cardinals were able to take advantage, winning the game. I think it was 27-17 as a visiting team. Overall, I think James Conner had a big game, 2 touchdowns, and Colt McCoy threw a touchdown to A.J. Green. So we had 1 touchdown, 1 interception in the game. John Wolford had one touchdown, one interception in a crucial moment. And like usual, the Rams weren't able to get anything off going in the running game. Um, and unfortunately for them, they lost their star receiver, Cooper Cup, who I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but he suffered I think it was an ACL injury. It was a high ankle sprain injury that is going to keep him out for at least 4 weeks. Chargers, 49ers. The 49ers ended up winning the game 22-16. I think Justin Herbert scored the first points of the game, a touchdown off of an incredible pass by him to DeAndre Carter. And overall, the rest of the game, he was pretty much held in check by the 49ers' stout defense. Then again, he was missing a lot of his receivers. I mean, injuries. You know how it is. But overall, he had a pretty good game. The 49ers, they had two touchdowns, both rushing. One was a rushing yard or rushing touchdown from Jimmy Garoppolo, and the other one was another rushing touchdown from a rushing touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. Big addition for the team, which happened a few weeks ago in a trade with the Panthers. And like I said, the 49ers stout defense was able to overall keep Justin Herbert in check. They had three sacks, but 48 total tackles. But and Talanoa Hufanga, the rookie out of USC, had a crucial interception. He caught an interception off of Justin Herbert's pass, which sealed the game. And as for the last game of the week, the Commanders versus the Eagles, the Commanders were able to pull off the biggest upset of the week, in my opinion, winning the game 32-21 to knock off the Eagles and their undefeated their undefeated streak, which was at 8-0. Overall, Commanders really showed up. Their defense showed up for the most part. Taylor Heineke had 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, but the Commanders had 2 rushing touchdowns. One was one was with Brian Robinson, one was with Antonio Gibson. And they had an interception off of Jalen Hurts' pass or deep pass, which was intercepted by Derek Forrest, linebacker. Jalen Hurts. I mean, I was held in check for the most part. One thing I don't understand is, I just don't understand why the Eagles would pass the ball more than they run the football. I mean, they really only used the RPO game like once. And that resulted in a touchdown. For the most part, they ended up passing the football, and that's not who the Eagles are. They're a running football team. They don't pass the football. Well, I mean, they do, but not nearly enough. Or not. What's the word I'm looking for? They like I said, ultimately they're just a running football team. They run their game is running the football. They shouldn't be passing the football more than they run the football, and ultimately they shot themselves in the foot and cost themselves the win. But maybe this will be a learning experience for them, and who knows, maybe this will drive them to be better and lead them to winning the Super Bowl this year, or it could be the start of the end. We'll see. But takes the pressure off of them a little bit. Not really worrying about going undefeated, because they already have a loss right now. Their main focus is just to win the division and try to win a Super Bowl.